Hello YouTube friends, welcome back to another practice with me, Meffan. If you don't already know, I have an online yoga and meditation membership called the Soul Sanctuary. You can click the link below this video and come check us out. Enough of that, now we're all about this practice. So this practice is, as you saw from the title, all about the chest, the shoulders and the neck. Basically, those places that we hold emotional tension, a lot of us. So we have those emotional stressors when we get a bit anxious, the shoulders rise and everything gets a bit tight. But also for those of us that are sitting at a computer or at a desk or even not at a desk and are at a laptop, so we're hunched over, we're going to be working into all of those spaces today, really creating space and a bit more freedom and fluidity in the upper body and basically from the rib cage upwards. So I recommend we get started seated, either be up on a block. If you feel super comfortable just down in a cross-leg position, then absolutely you can be here. We're going to be here for a good few minutes. So if this isn't comfortable or you know that after time this position starts to niggle, you could get a bolster or some blocks and cushions, slide it underneath you, and then have your knees either side of it and sit like that. Either way is going to be absolutely fine for the initial part of this practice. So let's come to ground. Let's come to arrive. Close your eyes wherever you are, just taking those final couple of wiggles to get comfortable. And roll the shoulders back. And grounding down into your mat, feeling the spine lengthening, crown of the head reaching all the way up to the sky. And then just start to check in with the breath. So the breath, when we come to a practice like this, or any practice, but especially today, can be very telling. So if the breath is short and shallow and you feel like it's getting stuck all the way up here in the chest, in the shoulders and in the neck, then it might be a little indication that we're holding tension, both physically and emotionally up in that space. And that's not something to judge. It's not something to instantly tell yourself, oh no, that's not good. It's very, very normal that we hold all of those stressors up here. And this practice is, like I said, going to be really about finding a bit of space in that area. So just connecting to the breath and observing the quality of your breath. Noticing the gentle rise and fall of the chest. Maybe that breath all the way reaches down to the belly. And notice if this position right here is kind of hard for you. Notice if the shoulders naturally want to roll forwards, if the spine wants to round and the chest collapse. Just always being aware. And if you notice that start to happen, take that shoulder roll going back again and just allow the chest to open. So keep everything lifted up through the spine and just drop the chin to the chest. So we're not rounding the spine with this chin to the chest. It is just a small movement, engaging Jalandhara Bandha. And then as you breathe here, we're creating this space all the way into the back body, through the back of the neck. And if it feels good to you, you can take a gentle interlace of the hands and just rest the hands upon the head. You don't have to take this variation if you already feel like the forward fold of the head is working. Then no need to take the interlace. Keep engaging with the breath. Notice as you breathe the energy coming into that space that we are opening. And if you've got the interlace, release the hands back down to the knees and start to half neck roll the right ear around to the right shoulder. And we're just going to pause here for a moment. Take a nice big deep breath, inhale, and let it go. Come all the way down through center. Left ear comes to left shoulder. And we take that big breath again, inhale. And let it go. And now start to work your way round, one breath at a time. So we inhale, come up to the right. Exhale down through center. Inhale up to the left. Exhale down through center. Inhale to the right. Exhale center. Inhale to the left. Exhale center. One more time. Inhale right. Exhale center. Inhale left. Exhale center. Start to lift the head all the way up. Now open through visually. So our throat chakra. This can be quite triggering for some people. There can be resistance. Can you take the head the whole way back and open through the throat? The option to make a bit of sound here. So maybe you open the mouth. Ah. Stick the tongue out, whatever it might be. Just open through that space with a bit of vocalizing. Doesn't matter what it sounds like. Ah. And just noticing if by releasing those vocal cords, by engaging them, we are able just to drop that head a little bit further back. And then coming all the way back up to center. Start to look around to the right side. Start to look to the front. Look over to the left. Look around to the front. To the right. To the front. To the left. To the front. Beautiful. Now drop the head over to the right. You can place the right hand just down to by the side of you to support you. And you're going to take this left arm up and out to the side. And then start to flex through that left wrist, fingertips trying to stay straight. And notice how the stretch has traveled from the neck all the way into the top of the arm and then through the palm of the hand. And then if it feels good to you, you can take up this right hand and gently place the right hand on top of the head. If that's too much, just use the right hand to support you down on the mat. Again, connecting to the breath. And then coming all the way through center, very gently. Start to drop the left hand down, head goes over to the left, right hand goes out, and then we take that wrist position, fingertips going up to the sky. And then again, if it feels good to you, you can start to take that left hand and gently place it on top of the head. This is not a yanking feeling. This is not, you're not pulling it deeper. You're gently just adding a little bit of extra pressure. You can close the eyes here. Just feeling into that energy, that tingling sensation running all the way from the neck to the fingertips. And then coming all the way back to center. You're going to interlace the hands behind the head again. Now this time, where we just took the dip with the chin, this time we're going to be rounding through the spine. I'll turn to the side so that you can see me here. And if you've got your legs crossed, by the way, take the opposite cross now, just so that we even ourselves out. So interlace the hands by the head. Take an inhale, lift up, and then exhale as you start to draw the triceps down towards the chest. So not only are we opening through the neck now, we're starting to get that same beautiful tingling stretch sensation through the thoracic spine. Big breaths here. And then if it feels good, if you feel like this is good and it's a nice place to be, then start to ever so gently shift forwards, rounding the spine even more. Closing your eyes. Go on and inhale, lifting all the way up. Let those elbows come out to the side. Cactus the arms. Lift the head. So the heart is opening. And now interlace the hands behind the back. Draw those hands away. Chest opens even more. Breathing here. Nice big inhale. And let it go. Release the interlace, place the hands on the knees, and we're going to start to open with a cat-cow motion here, but staying seated. So inhaling, lift the chest, shine the heart forwards. Exhale as you round and fold. Inhale, open. Exhale, round and fold. Inhale, open. Exhale, round and fold. Now this time, start to work your way round in circles. And you can take this as big as you want, really getting low, circling round. And then going the other direction. So making sure we are evening ourselves out. And then coming all the way back to neutral. Now you're going to roll over the knees, or if you're on a bolster, just moving that bolster to one side. And we're going to come into an all fours position. So grounding down into the hands, a nice natural spread through the fingers. Engage the core so that you are nice and supported here. We're not collapsing into the spine. Ground down through the left. Inhale, sweep the right arm up. So just breathing here, literally just staying in this position, gazing up towards the sky and just feeling the breath open into the chest. And then release that hand all the way down. Left hand comes up. And again, we open to the other side. And then bringing it all the way back down. Walk the hands out in front a little bit more, and you might want to shift those knees back slightly. Let's come to find Anahatasana, melting heart pose. Option if you've got a space to come up onto the fingertips. Now, as you inhale, engage core, lengthen the spine. Exhale, release it down. Maybe if you can take that gaze forwards, then do. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale down. Beautiful. Bring the hands all the way down. Just snake your way forwards onto the belly. You're going to take your right arm out into cactus. Left fingertips come under the left shoulder. Shift yourself over to the right side. Either keep the legs stacked, or you can place that left foot behind you and allow the knee to open. So that knee falling open is going to be what's taking you deeper into the stretch. Connecting to breath always. And then rolling back over onto your belly. Take a moment. Just close the eyes. And then set up for the other side. Left arm comes out to cactus. Right fingertips under the shoulder. Shift over to the right side. And then that right foot can head up and behind if that feels good. Close the eyes. Allow yourself to really be here in this space. Breathing into the body. Just observing that tightness, seeing if you can just crack it open a little bit. Breathe into the tightness. Create space around it. And seeing if you can visualize that tightness just dissolving. And then coming all the way back down onto the belly. You're going to take the fingertips just to the top corners sort of the mat. If the top corners of your mat are super far away from you, then they don't need to be there, but about the width of the mat, and allow the head to hang heavy. Separate the feet, and we're just going to undulate 4 breaths into a cobra. Inhale, lift, head and neck come last. Exhale, and it can be a teeny tiny cobra if you wish. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale up. Exhale. Last time, inhale up. Exhale. Beautiful. Place the hands down and just shift yourself back to a kneeling position. Come to sit back on the heels. Now take both hands up and place the fingertips on top of the shoulders. And I just want you to gently pull through the shoulders here. So giving yourself a little massage. And now we don't want the massage to be so intense that the arms are working so hard that then we're actually making ourselves even more tense. So we want the arms to not be doing too much hard work. And we're just feeling into probably lots of little knots and niggles here through the top of the back. I'll turn just so that you can see what motion I'm working with here. And just moving around, observing, coming into the shoulders. You can close the eyes. And if the arms do get a little bit tired, just drop them down, roll the shoulders back. Take a moment. We want to try to avoid that though. So if you find that the arms are getting tired, then you might have gone a little bit too hard. And then release those hands down. Just shake the arms out. Take the arms high, shaking out through the arms, through the hands, through the elbows, and therefore also through the upper body. So just finding a little bit of looseness in this upper body space. And then either staying in kneeling position or coming back down to seated. We're going to be taking the hand, so in the neck, if you can feel here, if you follow the jawline around, you'll notice that the jawline follows around and then it obviously dips in. And then if you take the hands, you'll notice this muscle. So there's big muscles here. And just gently, one side at a time, again, just massaging out through that space. The first time you do this, might feel a little bit weird. If you've practiced with me before, I've included this in a few practices before, so you might recognize it. And it can feel a bit weird. No one ever really touches this space. And then going to the other side. Beautiful. Yeah, and then release the hands down. Drop the chin to the chest. And then start to take those half neck circles again, like we did right at the start. Notice if there's any particular difference on how the neck feels now as to how it did moments ago. Just working side to side. And one more time going each way. And then keeping the eyes closed, make your way down onto your back. Hug the knees in. Taking the arms out into T-shape or into cactus, depending on what you have space for. And then drop the knees over to one side, head goes over to the other. I don't mind which way you go first. Just so the head is going the opposite way to the knees. So, of course, this is getting a stretch through the glutes and the IT band, but we're also creating space through the chest as well. And you can move here, you can move the head side to side if you want to stay with that looseness. And if not, just breathing into the stillness. Big, deep breaths. Cracking the body open. Bringing those knees through center and taking them over to the other side. Head goes to the opposite direction of the legs. Again, big deep breaths. And slowly unraveling. Hug the knees into the chest. Take a little rock side to side. And then start to rock forwards and backwards. So just massaging through the whole length of the spine. Sitting up with the knees bent in. You're going to wrap your arms around your legs. Drop the head down to the knees, giving yourself this big hug. Let's take a big, huge releasing breath together. Inhale. And let it go. Slowly opening yourself all the way up. Rolling those shoulders back, arriving back in that seated position. Thank you all so much for doing that practice with me. I hope that you are feeling super chilled and just more open in the neck, in the shoulders. This is a practice that I recommend coming back to time and time again, just so that you know that you can find that ease in this part of the body. So thank you. Please do come over and join the Soul Sanctuary if you enjoy my practices, and I look forward to seeing you on the mat and flowing with you again sometime soon. Bye-bye.